Hello and welcome to this video review of Dirt 5 on Xbox One X. Now, the Day Zero patch was delayed all weekend and it looked doubtful it would be ready in time for the embargo to lift, but I have it now and, well, I'm sure you'll agree, this is shocking. For what is, until next week, the most powerful console on Earth, this looks like an absolute dog's dinner. Get more than a few cars on the screen and the frame rate drops massively, and there's screen tearing everywhere. Names jitter about above the cars in every race, and it just doesn't feel like a premium game. Which is an absolute tragedy because I've been reviewing the PlayStation 4 version for Official PlayStation Magazine UK, and none of these issues are evident there. It's glorious. The game has a 30Hz or 60Hz option even on the base PS4, allowing you to prioritise image quality or frame rate, and I must say, it's a pretty remarkable option, with the 60Hz mode retaining so many of the visual effects, unlike, say, Forza Horizon 4, which takes a noticeable visual hit if you run it in frame rate mode. So, if we switch this to 60Hz, you can see that the frame rate is indeed improved, but the screen tearing is even worse. It's not just this track, look, it's commonplace to see a jagged line across the game, which is very disappointing. I can understand why this has happened. The game is launching on both next-gen machines, as well as all 4 current-gen machines and PC and Stadia, so that's 8 different versions, and I do believe that the least widely owned of all of those, apart from Stadia, is the Xbox One X. But even so, I did pay some £450 for that console, so I should reasonably expect it to run better than my launch week PS4. But this is the state of the game on day one, and it's a complete mess. With that said, let's look at the game itself because it's actually rather awesome. No, honestly. Oh man, this is going to be a tough one. The good news is that the game itself is an excellent racer, a real return to form and exactly what I'd hoped for after the rather disappointing Dirt 4. It's clearly a return to the festival feel of Dirt 2 with a superb guitar rock soundtrack, drift-tastic off-road gameplay, and colour everywhere. This is the brightest game I think I've seen this whole generation, which is really refreshing. It may not have the 3D front end of Dirt 2, but it definitely feels like another version of that game, which is fine by me. The career mode is made up of individual events, which unlock the next, branching every now and then to allow you to focus on the kind of events that you like the most. Me, I like particularly the icebreaker races, where you skate around on beautiful reflective ice tracks. Driving on snow is also great, but then the mud feels good too. What I didn't enjoy quite so much were the Pathfinder events, and I haven't quite got the hang of Gymkhana yet, although there's plenty of scope there for high-score gameplay. Events like Gymkhana can't be played in split screen, but the vast majority of career mode can be enjoyed in up to 4-player split screen couch co-op, which is amazing. I personally don't have enough Xbox pads to show you that, but I have played the split screen and it's superb. It's amazing how well it runs. The career mode is notable for featuring the vocal talents of Nolan North and Troy Baker, who appear in audio-only podcast episodes that play over the menus. Their characters are pretty one-dimensional, but it's all good fun. It's a real pity that this personality doesn't spill over onto the track, because unlike Dirt 2, the other drivers don't speak to you at all, no matter how hard you clatter into them, so the action can feel a little detached at times. Of course, that game is over a decade old, so many new gamers won't know what they're missing out on and will just think that this is brilliant. In fairness, it still is. The day-night transitions and weather effects are absolutely top-notch, and the game is frequently spectacular. While the game clearly wants everyone to just be able to play it and enjoy the racing, there are some extra things to do if you want to delve that little bit deeper. There is a sponsorship system where you have to pick a sponsor and then fulfill set criteria through your season, though it isn't really necessary to pursue this and has very little impact on the racing action itself. The sponsors' objectives complement the 3 set objectives that are there for every single event, so there's plenty to do besides just drive fast around these beautiful environments. Some of these objectives are simple, like overtaking a set number of cars within 10 seconds or drifting around corners, but a few others require a little more skill, like trading paint in the air or drifting more times than there are corners in the race. With 3 tokens to win on each track, you don't need to do everything in order to get to the end of career mode and see the credits roll, but it does mean there's more to do once you've finished it. The game itself is only a couple of days long if you just take the shortest route through it, and can be cleared in a weekend. I did. Besides that, there's the Playgrounds editor, where you get to create and share challenge arenas with the rest of the world. I previewed this extensively already on my channel, so if you want to learn more about it and have a look at it in action, please do take a look at that video. The link will be at the end. But suffice to say, it's very rewarding when you start dreaming up impressive challenge tracks, and if you're stuck for ideas, then you can download other people's and see how you fare on the leaderboards. Refreshingly, there really isn't much more to the game than that. There are throwdown events that unlock every once in a while in career mode, which are often just 1v1 races, though they don't pose too much of a challenge compared to the normal game. There's also an arcade mode, which is basically just quick play, and there's a time trial mode in there too, though all of this just feels like it's there because every racer needs to have it. To be frank, this doesn't feel like a time attack kind of a game. The handling, while lots of fun, is rather loose, and the tracks are usually covered in mud or some other slippery substance, which means it's not really a game of finesse. Indeed, since the cars can't be destroyed, as damage is cosmetic only, the game feels rather loose in general. On the plus side, it means that novices can have a great time without suffering a game over every couple of corners, but it also means that long-term fans of the series, like myself, might feel a tad detached from the action. The old damage model is not present here, and the game feels less spectacular as a result. And so we come to the score. Now, it's a difficult one to score because underneath all these technical issues that are present in the Xbox One X version, there is a brilliant racing game. It really is fun to play, it's very easy to get into. I love the little customization options, I love the track designer, and the fact that it does feel like, finally, a sequel to Dirt 2. So, in some ways, it's everything I wanted. I wish it had more damage, but if I'm reviewing this Xbox One X version, I have to say it's just not good enough. You can obviously play this game on Xbox Series S or Series X with the cross-buy if you want to, so that upgrade is always there, and I'm sure it will run perfectly on next gen. We'll have to see, of course. But as for this version, if you have an Xbox One X, it's got to be 3 out of 5. Now, I know I gave Grid last year 3 out of 5 for being a great looking game that wasn't so fun to play. This really is the opposite. This is a great game that just doesn't run well on Xbox One X. So here's hoping it gets patched soon. Well, thanks very much for watching this video. Do keep an eye on my channel because I'll be getting both the next gen consoles, so there's all that to look forward to in a couple of weeks' time. And I've also got music videos and more on my channel, so please take a look around. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.